Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most talked about assets in the smart contract platform space, Onyxcoin XCN. Whether you're already holding some XCN in your wallet, or you're just exploring the crypto landscape and wondering whether this project is worth your time and attention, this video will break down all the latest statistics, price action, and key metrics surrounding the coin. So buckle in and let's dissect what's really happening with Onyxcoin right now. Trading volume, a snapshot of market activity. To start with, let's look at Onyxcoin's trading volume, a vital metric that offers insight into how much market participants are engaging with the token. Over the last 24 hours, the total trading volume for Onyxcoin stands at $25,878,052.30. However, this figure also represents a notable decline of minus 23.40% compared to the previous day. Now, what does this tell us? A decrease of over 23% in daily trading volume signals a recent cool down in trading activity. This could be driven by various short-term market factors, anything from investor hesitation amid broader crypto uncertainty to simple profit-taking after a recent rally. It's important to keep in mind that declining volume doesn't necessarily spell doom, but it does suggest traders are in a wait-and-see mode. If you're tracking volume to anticipate price movement, you'll want to see whether this drop continues in the coming days or if fresh volume re-enters the market. For broader context, Onyxcoin doesn't appear in the top 50 list of most traded assets on platforms like CoinGecko, but its volume is still significant enough to place it among active mid-cap altcoins. If you're looking for tokens with consistently high liquidity, this is still one to keep on your radar, especially if that volume bounces back with a bullish tailwind. All-time highs and lows. Understanding the price range. Moving on to price history, Onyxcoin XCN has had its share of extreme highs and sobering lows, like many altcoins that launched with major ambitions. The all-time high price recorded for XCN is BTC 0.056348, while the all-time low bottomed out at BTC 0.00711591. What's fascinating is where we stand now in relation to these extremes. Onyxcoin is currently trading about 90% below its all-time high, which might sound scary at first glance. But before you write off the project, let's flip the perspective. From its all-time low, Onyxcoin is now up a staggering 2,506.80%. That's the kind of movement that keeps crypto traders hooked. A 90% drop from the peak shows how far we've come down from euphoric heights, but a 2,500% climb from the bottom also reminds us of the explosive upside that's possible in this space, especially when strong fundamentals align with market sentiment. The current price represents a middle ground where both bulls and bears have a case, and where future moves will likely depend on real-world utility, upcoming developments, and macro conditions in the crypto ecosystem. Market capitalization. Measuring the network's value. Now let's discuss market capitalization, a key metric that reflects the current valuation of the Onyxcoin network based on circulating supply and current price. As of today, the market cap of Onyxcoin XCN is approximately BTC 5,711.6449, placing it at no 145 on CoinGecko's list of top cryptocurrencies by market value. Market cap is calculated by multiplying the token's current price with its circulating supply, which stands at about 34 billion XCN tokens available for trading. This is what we'd consider a mid-cap altcoin, large enough to be noticed by institutional players and serious retail investors, but still small enough to experience significant price volatility. Market cap rankings can shift dramatically in crypto, especially when major news or partnerships are announced, or when community sentiment shifts in either direction. For Onyxcoin to break into the top 100 again, it would need either a surge in token price or a significant expansion in utility and adoption that drives increased demand. It's also worth considering how Onyxcoin stacks up against other smart contract platforms. While projects like Ethereum and Solana command multi-billion-dollar valuations, Onyxcoin still flies somewhat under the radar, potentially giving early investors more upside if the ecosystem evolves and matures. Fully diluted valuation, FDV, a glimpse into long-term potential. If you're a long-term investor, then the fully diluted valuation, FDV, is a metric you should be paying close attention to. This stat gives us a theoretical ceiling for what the project's valuation might be if all tokens were in circulation. For Onyxcoin, the FDV is BTC 8,227.5778, based on a maximum supply of 48 billion XCN tokens. That's roughly 14 billion more tokens than the current circulating supply, meaning there's still a sizable portion of XCN yet to hit the market. The timing and pace at which these remaining tokens are released could significantly impact price action. If a large number of tokens are unlocked too quickly, it could create downward pressure. On the other hand, a carefully managed emission schedule that aligns with ecosystem growth could support sustainable long-term expansion. So, what's the takeaway here? FDV is not just an abstract number. It's a reminder that future token unlocks will play a critical role in shaping the coin's market behavior. If you're thinking about holding XCN for months or even years, you'll want to monitor updates from the Onyx team about token release schedules, staking programs, and governance changes. Performance versus the broader market, a reality check. Finally, let's put Onyxcoin's recent performance in context by comparing it to the broader cryptocurrency market. Over the last 7 days, Onyxcoin XCN has declined by -7.5%, underperforming against the global crypto market, which posted a modest plus 1.30% gain in the same time frame. This isn't exactly bullish news for XCN holders, but again, context matters. In the crypto world, weekly swings of 5 to 10% are relatively normal, and short-term underperformance doesn't always reflect fundamental weakness. However, when a coin consistently lags behind both Bitcoin and its sector peers, it's worth investigating why. For Onyxcoin, there may be a few contributing factors: lack of major announcements, token unlock concerns, or simply a pause after a strong rally. Interestingly, Onyxcoin is also underperforming compared to similar tokens in the smart contract platform category, many of which have seen gains as Ethereum Layer 2s and alternative networks gain attention. This presents a double-edged sword for investors. On one hand, it signals that capital is currently flowing elsewhere. On the other, it means XCN might be undervalued relative to its competitors, an attractive entry point if you believe in the project's long-term potential. At this stage, Onyxcoin sits in an intriguing position. With a substantial circulating supply, a respectable market cap, and a history of explosive growth, it clearly has the infrastructure and user base to remain relevant in the crypto landscape. However, the recent decline in volume, underperformance against market averages, and looming token unlocks suggest that caution may also be warranted. For those with a high-risk tolerance, Onyxcoin might represent a discounted opportunity to accumulate while prices are suppressed. But for more risk-averse investors, it may be wise to wait for confirmation of renewed bullish momentum, whether that's in the form of new partnerships, on-chain utility growth, or sustained volume resurgence. Either way, the fundamentals are strong enough to keep Onyxcoin on your watch list. Thanks for watching. If you found this breakdown of Onyxcoin helpful, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment below letting us know your thoughts. Are you bullish on XCN's future? Do you think it's undervalued at these levels? Or are you staying on the sidelines until the next move becomes clear? Let's keep the conversation going in the comments.